Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with an update video, bit of a feedback video from some of the comments that came in yesterday, and a bit of an update on what's going on in Spain at the moment regarding the situation. Now the first thing I'm going to say is that I'm back in Spain. I'm currently in the province of Cáceres. We came back from Portugal yesterday, spent the night here and on my way back to Madrid, and the first thing I'm going to say is the situation here in Spain is completely different to the situation that I left in Portugal. Portugal was a lot more relaxed than it is here in Spain at the moment, and even in this particular province, Cáceres, you can notice that people are a lot tenser regarding the health situation than they are in Portugal. That's not to say that in Portugal people are not cautious, of course they are, but here in Spain everybody wearing masks, and one of the first things we saw when we crossed the border is just how extensive the use of masks is in this country at the moment. We saw two elderly gentlemen riding bicycles with masks on, very uncomfortable because it was 38 degrees yesterday, very, very hot. And that's also one of the differences as well from where I have been for the last 6 weeks in Portugal. The weather in this part of the world, extremely hot. As I said, 38 degrees yesterday. It was a real slap in the face, the difference in temperature, because Portugal, of course, on the coast, a lot milder. It didn't get above 23 or 24 degrees in that part of the world. And of course, when you come here, 38 degrees, hot wind, extremely dry, and very uncomfortable walking around the streets. But in general here there seems to be a greater sense of fear. Difficult to put your finger on exactly, but you can sort of feel that there's more tension in the air, unfortunately. Now lots of feedback yesterday about the tracing app or tracking app. Lots of feedback in the comment section, of course. People saying that they're not going to download the app. People saying that you shouldn't download the app. People saying that it's an invasion of privacy, and all of those things related to a tracing or tracking app that the government is trying to get people to use in Spain. And let's be honest, it's going to be controversial. Not everybody wants to have this type of technology in their pockets, and of course not everybody has the technology in their pockets to be able to use this type of app. If you're not using one of the latest generation smartphones, you might not even be able to install this app on your phone, or at least that's what somebody said, that if you don't have one of the latest operating systems in your phone, either on your Apple phone or your Android phone, you might have problems to get this app working. And of course we did see that the Prime Minister came out the other day and said that he encourages everybody in Spain to download the app. He wants as many people to use it as possible. There were some reports in the papers, in some of the English newspapers, saying that he said that people must download the app, but the way I read it was that people should download the app, and some of the other language used was that he urged people to download the app and start using it as soon as possible. So a bit of a difference there between must download or should download. Of course, a bit of a semantic difference between the use of those modal verbs. So the press obviously translating those words differently. So must, should, ought to. I of course understand those words a little bit differently. And remember that another key aspect of this app is that it's not available at the moment in all of the autonomous communities in Spain. It's only available in 6 or 7, I think. I can't remember exactly how many, but there are some autonomous communities in Spain that haven't got this app up and running yet. But I think that in this particular autonomous community, which is Extremadura, I can download the app and use it if I wanted to. But in Madrid, where I'm going to be later today, I won't be able to use the app there. So a bit strange in my opinion that it's not available all over Spain and only in certain areas at the moment. And that's also one of the main worries of the government, that it's not going to be in people's hands when kids go back to school, because that's going to be a crucial time for the health situation in Spain. And schools and education are the main focus points of the media in Spain at the moment. Everybody is talking about the school year starting again, how safe it's going to be for children to go back there, how are the schools going to handle the health situation, what's going to happen if there's a virus outbreak in a school, what's going to happen if parents decide not to send their children to school. The government mentioned today that they're going to crack down on parents that don't send their children to school, because let's be honest, a lot of parents are worried about sending their kids back to school. A lot of people feel that the situation is not being handled adequately by the government, and they don't trust schools to be a safe environment. We saw that teachers are planning strikes, we saw that students are planning strikes as well, so it's going to be a chaotic September in Spain this year from an education point of view. We've decided this year to send our son to a different school, so we have to deal with that on top of the health situation, so that's going to be challenging. But he seems to be up for the challenge and he's looking forward to going back to school. We got a lot of information yesterday from the school telling us what they're going to do, what measures they have in place, how they're going to handle the recess times, how many kids are going to be in classrooms together, what's going to happen regarding sporting activities, what's going to happen at lunch times. There's going to be different drop-off times in the morning for different school years, different access gates. All of these things have been put in place by this school, and there's going to be other things like daily temperature checks and things along those lines as well. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll make sure that I keep everybody informed of the situation. Now we're staying here in Cáceres in a town called Malpartida de Plasencia. We're staying in this fantastic old rustic rural accommodation, and these are one of the best types of accommodation in Spain in my opinion. Forget about the fancy hotels. If you have the opportunity to stay in a place like this with a fantastic host family looking after you and great accommodation, really comfortable, fantastic breakfast in the morning, these are the places that I recommend people stay at when they're traveling around Spain, or at least it's what I always try to do. Really comfortable, and you get a chance to stay in these old houses in the older parts of town. Great experience. So just checked out of the accommodation with these views of rural Spain behind me, and we'll just finish the video off now with one of the other topics that was mentioned in the comment section about internet connections in Spain. I mentioned yesterday I pay about 46 euros for my internet connection in Spain, which includes television and also unlimited data on my phone. And somebody asked how I managed to get that deal. Well, the thing that you need to do is change companies basically, or threaten to change companies. So if you're with Movistar, threaten to go to Vodafone, or actually go to Vodafone and pick up a good offer with them. I was with Movistar, got a phone call from Vodafone, and they offered me a fantastic deal, and I decided to change. The changeover did take a while. It wasn't as smooth as I was expecting it to be, and it was a bit of a hassle, but now everything up and running fairly well, and I don't have any complaints. And of course, that unlimited data on the mobile is one of the reasons why I decided to change. And also for the television, and also they threw in Netflix and HBO as well. So I'm happy about that. So basically that's what you got to do. Change companies or threaten to change companies. Ring up and try to get a better deal out of your existing operator, whether it be Movistar, whether it be Vodafone, whether it be Orange, or one of the other many companies in Spain that offer these services. So I'll start to wrap the video up from this windy part of the world. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you on the next one. Hasta luego.